Hi everyone, I'm Sanjana and I have Doug Lehman with me today to talk about video marketing. Hi Doug, thank you so much for joining me.
Well, thank you so much for joining this group virtually. Looking forward to it.
Same here. So Doug is currently the founder of Lehman's Terms. He has a true passion for leveraging sales and digital media content to grow business revenue. And he specializes in the art of storytelling and in producing personalized training videos, interviews, testimonials, and so many forms of videos. So, Doug, really happy to have you on the show. And shall we get into the discussion?
Absolutely. Let's get it going.
Great. Okay, so my first question is, I know there are a number of articles written about, video marketing to generate leads or signups. But today I want to ask you a different question, like, how can we leverage video marketing post sales? I don't see a lot of them talk about this, so I want to understand what you got to say.
Great question, because you're right. We hear a lot of classes and people speaking about video prospecting and lead generation. But once you have a client or customer, leverage them through video, through communication. And once the sale is done, the sale is never done because you want to keep your customers on board, let them continue to be a B2B customer. And video status updates after they're a client. Let's say you've got a new service or new feature, sending them a video is one way, is a status update. If they've got questions, they're onboarding with the product or service, having a video to explain instructions and training. But my favorite one would be testimonials and case studies. You're happy with our service, have them do a case study or a video testimonial, positioning them as advocates so you'll get more business. Because our best sales force, I believe, is our current customers. And having them share that story on our behalf is real authentic and engaging. So really testimonials, service training, and updates.
Great, great. And should we like have them on the website and emails and everywhere? How do you use them and where do you use them?
Great question. The answer is yes, yes, and yes on your website. Now, if you in B2B, if you're selling into different services like healthcare, manufacturing, technology, music and entertainment, whatever the case is, I highly recommend having a testimonial for each and every business you sell and market to. So it gives you an example of, okay, if they work with this type of client and I'm related to that type of client. So having it's more about the content of the testimonial. It has to be relatable to your audience. So on your website, social networking sites like LinkedIn, and a B2B especially, B2C, I know would be more of a Facebook. And another thing is taking that content and repurposing it. We're doing an interview right now, and it will be 25, 30 minutes or however it goes. And a long form video, right? Being able to chop that up into shorter clips and repurposing that is more engagement.
Great. And how long should a testimonial video be?
It goes back to the context. Sometimes shorter is better, but you still got to tell the story, the hero story. Like, you used our product or services in the B2B space. How did that affect change? Why was it relevant? And if you can convey that in 30 seconds to a minute, great. You have to be aware of your audience. They have to be tuned in, as you know, because you've done a lot with video marketing. You've worked for video marketing companies, Hippo Video, great company with them as well. Being able to engage your audience. If it's too long, they're going to tune out, but you still got to have the context of the story. So to answer your question, shorter as long as they understand it.
Yeah, I got it. And since you're working with a number of companies and individuals to help them leverage their video marketing skills, what do you think is the impact of video today in our virtual business world?
It's obviously gone up a lot because we can't travel. We can't meet face to face. Now, you and I have known this for years, but now since the pandemic, it's forced individuals, businesses to not travel. So it's on the rise. And I think we're continuing to develop with more and more production with video. It's getting obviously there's more video content than ever, but I think we're
Yeah,
also getting more skilled at how to make the cost of production's gone down. There's a lot of companies out there
right.
producing firms. At the same time, we're getting better at our production. Cost has gone down, the production's gone up,
Yeah.
and there's more
And
production.
yeah, I know. And I think few years back, I remember you telling me that you have a studio set up at your office.
Mhm.
Do you still have it, or like should you have a studio set up in your office to produce videos? Is that like really necessary?
I think it depends on what your targeted clients are and how often you engage. I think everybody should have a home. If you're working at a home-based office, you should have,
Yeah,
at least a room that's dedicated to the video, or at least being able to
yeah,
quiet from interference. So right now I'm renting. I'm in a 3-bedroom apartment. I have a dedicated room with video. I've got my green screen here if you're watching
yeah,
this, obviously. And and again, I know if people are listening, so they can't see I have the city behind me. Obviously, I'm not in Atlanta in the background, but being able to have a home studio. But I think it really comes down to clarity, your audio, and the visual elements.
yeah,
So I work at different studios when I travel and film people, but since the pandemic, I do a lot of remote work.
right.
We're interviewing right now. You're in Chennai, you're in India, and I'm in Atlanta, Georgia,
Yeah,
United States. We're doing this through video.
yeah,
That's amazing. You've got your
right,
logo, your studio. I've got my studio, but we're at a home base office.
right. Great. And you were telling me that short videos are also important, and short videos I think are the need of the hour when it
Mhm.
comes to leveraging social media, right? So can you tell us how and where can we leverage short form videos better than long form videos?
Great question. I'm glad you picked up on taking long form videos like this podcast, this
Yeah,
visual podcast, and putting it into short form videos. So I've been to your YouTube channel, and I know you've got the short videos and clips. So one
right,
area would be where your audience is. So a long form video could play well on Instagram as a short or a story. LinkedIn, take the long form video because you can only upload directly natively. I think it's 10 minutes or something. But
right.
social networking channels, LinkedIn, TikTok, Twitter,
Mhm.
Instagram, wherever your audience is, because sometimes your B2B audience you may be able to get to a decision maker more so on Twitter than you even are on
Right, right.
LinkedIn. So it depends. So the answer is all social networking sites where it makes sense. And
Got
it
it.
seems like I personally use LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram primarily for
Yeah,
B2B. But personalized video messages on Facebook, if your clients and you're at that level with them, that's a great area to put a short clip as well. And of course, our favorite video email with the short
yeah.
clips and reaching that way too.
And what tools do you recommend to create videos? It could be even, personalized videos that salespeople use. Do you have any tool recommendations for us?
I think there's a lot of great platforms, but the first tool is the camera, and that could be your webcam and your cell phone. A
Yeah,
lot of people get caught up in what to use and what not to use. Your cell phone is a
exactly.
very powerful tool, but you have to light the background right. So if you have a ring light or lighting or even natural lighting, so that's the first thing. Platforms. Oh, there's a ton. We can Hippo video. I'm not going to name drop Loom. Everybody, I use Co-Video a lot as well. There's a
Yeah,
lot of great tools out there. LinkedIn. LinkedIn is powerful. You and I have done a lot of video messages together on LinkedIn. And and,
yeah,
and so you've got a lot of tools out there, but you got to have the lights, camera, action in the content. So there's no barriers to stop you. You don't need a very expensive camera. I mean, right now I'm using a capture card and a Sony A6400, 4K, whatever, but you don't necessarily need that, but you need the basics. But there are so many, every day there's another video marketing platform out there. And
got it.
I don't want to 30 of them. We can put it in the show
I know,
links.
right? Yeah, sure.
Right.
I can do that for you. And yeah, let's talk about, personalized videos a bit, because I don't think a lot of people understand the difference between personal videos and personalized videos.
It's
Can
great.
you tell
Yeah.
us the difference between both of these? Yeah,
Well, I think personalization, there's another word that rhymes with personalization. It's called automation. Okay.
huh.
And you can tell when it's personalized. Personalized would be, you got to think about the context of the message. If I'm talking you, Sanjana, and it's one-to-one,
Yeah,
that's personalized. I've got to make it about you, the audience. Now, if I'm trying to reach out to your company, and that's more
yeah,
of a broadcast, that's one-to-many. So you got to think
yeah,
about the context of your audience, first of all. I have
yeah.
I have in LinkedIn, I do, when I connect with somebody, I try to make it as personal about them as possible. But sometimes I have a broadcast video where
Yeah.
you could insert anybody. It could be Sanjana, it could be Sangram, it could be Larry, it could be Ed, Sarah,
Yeah.
whoever the case is. So the broadcast is more of a marketing one-to-many. A personalization
Mm.
is directly one-to-one, but you still have to make it personalized. You have to make it about them, not about you, but you're competing for time and attention. You've got to engage them.
Mm. And how long
So
should those videos be?
again, it's a shorter, and when I say shorter, maybe 1 to 2 minutes, but it depends on how much information. And it really, you
Yeah.
have to think in the mindset of the audience. If I'm going with a longer video and I have a lot of talking points and I'm reaching out to you, you may tune out after 30 seconds, like this is too much, or I don't understand,
Definitely.
or I don't care. But if I can
Yeah.
get your attention and keep you hooked and extend it. So I think we all got to fall back and think about the other person, company that the message is going to, and what value do they get. And that's
Mm.
we're taking long form videos and cutting them down to short form videos, because this case, if this is a 30-minute video, people may not have the time to watch 30 minutes of us two great people on your podcast in the video here, but they may see a 1 to 2 minute clip and go, okay, I like what they were saying. I'm going to
Right.
come back later on my own schedule and watch the whole thing.
Right. You're right. Great. And I'm sure that you should have few video marketing tactics that you can share with us. Can you tell us what kind of video marketing tactics have worked really well for you so far?
Oh, a couple of things. The key word is video. And in the buyer's journey, I think leveraging one tactic would be, think about where you can use video with every communication point. You and I just
Okay.
had a meeting, a follow-up video, a video proposal. It's your anniversary. It's a calendar moment, so think about video beyond prospecting. So think about
Yeah.
video everywhere it's beneficial. Having your clients do video on your behalf, user generated content. So these are all, think about video everywhere that it makes sense. And what I mean, text or audio may make more sense than video. So think about video. Another thing is it's video, okay? So you got to think about visual elements here. I
Mm.
like to say, and keep it 100 with video. Now, again, if you're just listening to the audio, I'm holding up a 100 number here just to let people know, use video everywhere that it makes sense 100%, but visual elements, because if not, you might as well just do an audio podcast if you're not leveraging that. Personal branding. I'm looking at you right now with your video. You've got all about B2B marketing. Subscribe, call to action, subscribe to your YouTube channel, subscribe. So it's think about the visual elements. We're taking it beyond that. And that's an area I think that sometimes people miss out on the opportunity. It's great to see your face, especially now, people's faces, because they're not traveling, but we can
Yeah.
do a lot more of video with the
Got
visual
it.
part.
Excellent, excellent. And I forgot to ask you one thing when it comes to personalized videos. Can you give us some best practices for using personalized videos to connect with others? Like how do you create these mass personalized videos?
Okay, on the first part of that question, some tactics would be, if I'm trying to reach you directly one-on-one, I've got to do
Yeah,
my homework. So I
yeah,
would go in, I call it social watching. I'm going to go watch some of your videos. I'm going to go to your LinkedIn profile, your company website, find some common points of interest. So when I do the video, I don't say script the video, but when I plan for the video, I've got to have some commonality, some talking points that make it personalized. I know what city you're
Yeah.
from. And I'm not, you know, but the idea to make it relevant, it's got to be relevant to you, but personalized. Mass, when you talk about personalization at mass scale, like, again, that's when we go back to context, one to many. Let's say I'm trying to reach everybody at a company of 50 people.
Yeah.
The personalization goes down a little bit unless you personalize each and every one, because people don't have time. So there's a lot of platforms that go out there that they have it, they insert that person's name and it's automated generation. I think the more larger the audience, the less time for personalization. So
Yeah.
you got to think about how much I'm in a process right now of following up of about, I want to follow up about 300 people and do 300 personalized videos. So that's a lot of time. Or I could do one video, but it won't be quite as personalized. There's systems out there that hold up somebody's name. But if I just have a video and hold up your name, Sanjana,
Yeah.
and then everything else after that video is not resonate with you, it's not personalized, I don't really consider that personalization. Sure, I got your name, but everything else has to kind of be relevant to you. We're past that now. We're past that phase of putting somebody's name on a screen and thinking that's personalization. I get a little fired up about that. I think we gotta make talking points with the person besides just going hi and then getting into nothing. It's
Yeah.
relevant.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Did I
Awesome.
answer your
So
question? Did I answer your question?
yeah, you did.
Yeah. So
You did. You did. Yeah. Awesome. So I think we've reached the end of the episode, but before I wrap it up, I want to do a quick rapid fire with you.
sure.
All right. So who do you follow the most on LinkedIn?
Oh, there's so many people out there on LinkedIn. Victor Antonio is a sales influencer, is a gentleman that I follow a lot. Our friend Sangram,
Yeah.
uh, over at Terminus, and now you know what he does. And there's a lot of people, so I can't name one. So, but I'm on LinkedIn a lot. You I follow. So it depends, you know. And it's what put the bell notification if somebody comes up that you want to follow. But there's a lot. I I don't want to pinpoint, but those are individuals that I follow a lot. So good question.
Great. 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 And what's your favorite book or podcast?
Book right now, I like a book by Lee Salz called Sales Differentiation. Now he's got a new book called Sell Different, which I did a video book review. I encourage everybody out there to do video book reviews, but Lee Salz Sales Differentiation, really breaking through the noise and being different in your sales and marketing efforts. Podcasts, I like Sangram's podcast, Flip My Funnel, and I also like Victor Antonio's podcast, Sales Influence. There's so many out there, and I like yours as well. So as
Thank
you're
you.
growing too. How about that?
Thank
Politically
you.
correct, but making sure everybody's thinking. There's so much content out there. I don't say a favorite, but that's why we have the presets. That's why we can come back and flip it in. And that's from the business side. I have a lot of other podcasts and things that are more entertainment value because sometimes you want to clear it out a little bit.
Yeah. Great recommendations. And last question. Let's say hypothetically you're getting your career started. What would you tell to yourself now?
Again, getting my career started now, if I was just getting started,
Yeah.
I think
Like what advice would you tell yourself?
I would tell myself to watch a lot of video content online to learn from the experts. I would talk to people that are seasoned in the industry or area that you
Yeah.
want to work, and have some one-on-one meetings, do some research about, okay, if I want to get into this profession, talk to somebody who's in the profession, somebody that's been there a while, instead of, you know, obviously we're going to learn by jumping in and doing things, but you make mistakes, but interview where you want to be. And that means just talking to people that are professionals in the industry and doing your research.
Great. Awesome. So yeah, I think I've exhausted all the rapid fire questions that I had for you. Do you have anything else to share with us, Doug?
Well, what books who's your favorite podcaster? I'm gonna spin it back to you real quick.
Sure. So my favorite is DGMG. I follow DGMG a lot. So there's
Okay.
this DG&G marketing community. So I'm in that community, and they have a great podcast. It's by Dave Gerhardt. So I'm his big fan. So I listen to all of his podcasts. That's my favorite, all-time
Well,
favorite.
you're right. Well, that's great. And see, like that, you're doing a research. I guess the thing I'd want to leave with the audience and viewers and people listening with when it comes to video marketing, think about where you can leverage video, where it makes sense. And that's a lot more places than you think, from video recaps to you just had a meeting. So keep it 100 with your video. Visual elements, it's video, have some fun a little bit, add some visual props, make it engaging on the eyes. Those are two areas I think that we can do better. More video content where it makes sense, more visual elements. We're competing for time and attention, and it's all about your audience to engage. Those three areas, because we're going to improve. We're not going to, this pandemic, whatever, we've learned a lot. We've got to improve getting our message across. More and more people are doing video, but how do you stand out in a positive way?
By the way, how did you get this interest in video marketing? How did
Great
this all
question.
start?
I started about 8-10 years ago. I have a background in sales and marketing, and I worked in corporate
Yeah,
for companies like IBM, Sun, and Cisco. And due to career transitions and everything else, I built a website and said, well, you know what? I'm going to be an independent consultant. I'm going to go out and look at me world. And I added video to my website and
great. Yeah.
built it and
And that
people
was
paid,
8 years ago.
yeah, 8-10 years ago, and people paid more attention to the video, not my degrees, not the companies I work for, Coca-Cola and IBM and well-known, Fortune
Yeah,
100 companies. And so I like the video. And everybody kept saying, well, do you do video? I go, well, I'm using video to market myself. And I learned self-taught, I'm not income from a film, but I've studied social watching. So video
wow.
became a niche that grew within me. And then I
Yeah,
primarily, as you know, work with sales trainers and speakers because I'm come from that background. I
yeah.
understand that. So it was kind of the
Mm,
niche that grew upon itself. I evolved through video marketing myself.
great. Great. And 2020 should have been a great year for you because that's when the video marketing peaked, right?
2020 was good. 2021 was really good as well because people were more acceptable to video. At this point, I'm wondering if, now it's a question, just I use the word level up, how do you stand, because there's so much video content. So how do you
Exactly.
break through the noise? And I also feel that, one other thing is multi-channel with video, leveraging video in different areas, but having multiple touch points, multi-touch. If I send you a video email, I will call you on the phone and say, hey, Sanjana, at 3:00 your time, I sent you a video. Just want to make sure, and have text that supports the video. I think that's the thing, that it's not video or text or video or audio. They all work well together. Now, I'm partial to video. I look at it like it's the supporting actor, or it's the lead
Mm,
actor, and text and audio support it. It's about the
right.
communication. It's not like just video or just no, they all work well together, and having that cadence to connect. At the end of the day, you want your message to be heard, seen, and read.
Right. Great. I think you rekindled my hippo video memories. I I could recall all my, video marketing days there. It's really interesting to listen to someone talk about, video marketing with great passion because I love video marketing a lot, and I share the same passion with you.
Right.
So awesome. So yeah, Doug. So thank you so much for spending your time with me today. This was absolutely fun. I loved your energy and enthusiasm throughout the conversation. I'll give your LinkedIn profile in the description so people can connect with you later if they have any questions about video marketing. It was nice talking to you, Doug. Talk to you again.
Great talking to you virtually as well.
Bye bye then.
Bye-bye.